Alright. That is good. It's good, yeah? Okay. Everything looks to be good on my end. I hope it's good on your end. You should have 2K viewership again. So hopefully we are good. Alright, so yesterday. Yeah, so remember I was saying I haven't been sleeping for like 3 weeks? It finally hit me yesterday and I couldn't keep my eyes open for the majority of the day. I think I slept about 20 hours in total. Yeah, give or take. I think I was only awake for like a few hours total on Wednesday. I just slept all the way through until like 5 a.m. the next day. So apologies for that. I was trying to stream, but it just wasn't meant to be. Six hours long? Nope, it's still 1080. I don't know why then. There's no reason why it should be 1080. I just slept, man. I just slept all the way through. I woke up a few times, and every time I woke up, I was like, I just need to go back to bed. My body was just telling me, go back to bed. Let me actually have a Google. 1 second. Let's have a Google it. Why that's happening. Why? Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I've done that. My output is on. Yeah, so I've done everything that's supposed to be 2K. So there's nothing here because, like, even the output, the video, there's no scaling. It's set to 1080p. I mean, sorry, 2560 by 1440p. General output 25,000 bitrate, which is what's needed. Oh, for God's sake! It's user error. You know what? I'm just gonna. Can I actually show you how? Oh, I can't even do that here, can I? Can I do that here? Yeah, I understand why. Can I share? No, I can't. So what I'm gonna do is take a screenshot. And I'll show you where the error is. But it is my fault. And because I'm using this software, I can't even share my screen properly. So that's another ball ache. Wait, I might be able to get away with actually sharing my screen. Hang on a minute. This is gonna completely be like Twilight shit for a second. That is that. Okay. Alright, so what we want to do is add transform fit to screen. Okay. That is not doing what I want it to do. Oh, it is. Okay. So you're seeing what I want you to see. So let's put that there. Let's put this. So can you see OBS? If you can see OBS, so what I did was I went to output, no, stream, no, video, and I set this to 2560 by 4040. And I thought that was it. Turns out, somewhere in the output, there's this thing over here which is downscaling it. And I didn't realize it. So, because of that, we'll have it fixed for next week. I saw, and anyone that's got that posted is going to get in trouble. So I'm not going to be showing that footage anytime soon. You're going to see everything. The error is sat in the chair. Oh man, guys, it's been insane. People have been so butthurt over that last video I made. I don't even understand why. It doesn't make any sense. But as you can see on screen, this is the first time we've had any information about Crazy Taxi. It's not much, but it looks like it's going to be showcased at the Summer Games Fest or the Xbox Showcase. I'm assuming it's going to be at one of the two. Crazy Taxi is coming back. Crazy Taxi 3 was on the arcade, I believe. Only? Can't remember. But it looks like we're going to be seeing more of Crazy Taxi. Let's not start with that anime. Apparently, that's a taboo thing to say right now. And it's a very taboo thing to say in the wild. Apparently, no game skips Xbox. Not one. Nothing ever to this date has skipped Xbox. ESA bags? I do have some stuff that I know. I just don't like revealing them or talking about them because I'm told to keep it quiet. I don't know a lot, but you know, because I've worked there, I still have contacts there and we still chat. Now, have I played it or not? Who knows? I'll leave that to your imagination. It looked good though. Actually, plenty worthwhile has skipped Xbox. Loads of great RPGs have skipped Xbox. You set up your Xbox Series X, it's doing 1440p 60 Hz on your 4K TV. And this looks way better than 4K mode. That's what I like to hear. What the hell is PepCac? Do I even want to know? Hey, look, I figured out what the problem is. I'll fix it for next time. I mean, don't only the bad games don't skip Xbox, right? Like Gears of War. I think that's still coming. Sadly, problems exist between. Really? Is that actually an abbreviation? Like a real abbreviation? Or is that something you just made up? Like, really? Is that something you literally just made up on the spot? I'm quite impressed if you did. I've never heard that. I've worked in tech for a long time. I've never heard that. But the big news today, and we're going to get stuck straight in, is of course Destiny 2. It receives its last update on June the 9th, and I guess Sony has decided that they want Marathon to live and Destiny to die. I don't know, man. I think it was a bad decision. Hey, Remy, I'm good, thanks. I think it was a bad decision choosing to kill Destiny that way. If they were going to do that and that was the plan, which clearly it wasn't, because if it was, they would have just ended it with Final Shape. That was like the perfect place to end it. But I don't know, man. I'm good, Remy. How are you? I can't help but feel saddened by this. It just, you know, the moments of triumph is how they ended Destiny 1. So they kind of ended it in the same way. And the update is massive that they're bringing along. But that's it. There's nothing that's going to come from it anymore. It's static. You thought that was the plan? What, finishing it at Final Shape or calling it a day? I just feel like keeping Marathon alive over Destiny is just not the right move. Yeah, they've cancelled so many games though. They've got nothing in the incubation process that's even known. And I just feel like they could have like I don't know if you guys know, but basically we already know through time travel that we've seen the end of our Guardian, right? Our Guardian dies at the end. And Saint 14 is standing on top of our tomb. They could have done something to finish this off properly. It's not going to get the send off it deserves, in my opinion. I mean, Destiny 3 has always been something that really they should have just kind of teased after the final shape and then left this. And if they did that and left Destiny 2 in maintenance mode, I think that would have been fine, right? But they've mentioned nothing about Destiny 3. There's no reason for them to withhold that. Like, if we go into the TWAB, right? If we read the TWAB, just it says Destiny 2, every end is a new beginning. For almost 12 years, we have had the joy and honor to explore the Destiny universe with you all. Through all the ups and downs, surprises and triumphs, building Destiny alongside our players has been a monumental privilege. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we reached the time for our shared worlds. I mean, the final shape was an end, right? Why didn't I answer? I've been busy making videos. The one that I uploaded. Quite frankly, I don't live on Twitter. Right, this final shape is where it really should have ended because it was a good send off. At the end, you know, the big bad was gone, Rook was gone, and you kind of saved the world. So, and it had a nice send off for Cade as well. But they decided that they wanted to push it through because they had plans for it until Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy left. They were working on what was, I believe, Destiny 3, but they got told that that's been cancelled. And so, because that got cancelled, Destiny Payback, they basically left. Payback was supposed to be Destiny 3. Destiny, Shared Worlds, and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. As our focus turns towards a new beginning for Bungie, we will begin work incubating our next games. To that end, June 9, 2026 will release the finals for live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin that new journey as a studio. Though active development may be concluding, we will ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable just as the original Destiny is today. The difference between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, though, is Destiny has the full game. Destiny 2 is missing like 50%, 60% of the content. So it's not the same. Even new players jumping in will be like, WTF, how did the story go this way? What am I doing? Why am I even here? Kind of thing. It makes no sense. Like, they completely butchered it. Many changes in this final update will aim to ensure that Destiny 2 is a welcoming place for players to return. Every end is a new beginning. Meaning, Sony basically turned around and said to Bungie, "We want Marathon to be the star, not Destiny. Destiny is a big sink, and we want it gone." I'm guessing Destiny was just, and the Destiny wasn't pulling the numbers in anymore. But that's not because Destiny was a bad game. It's because the developers were just trash, right? They weren't trying. They weren't doing anything. They weren't putting out content. It was literally low effort garbage that they were putting out every single time. And, people started to see through that eventually. I mean, I wanted to see through the Light and Dark saga. I finished it. I wanted to see through it, and I did. Now, I'm not even sure. Like, for example, is the Edge of Fate still playable? That was the update that came after the final shape. Is that even still playable? Because that's the one that takes us outside of the solar system to another area. And I don't know. Like, the whole sunsetting of planets and everything completely and utterly just disjointed what Destiny was. We had a fire team years ago, and after they sunset the content and basically took away paid content, they all quit. They didn't even think twice. They said, if they're going to take away content that I've paid for, I'm out. They were fine with the content just being there and never used, but the fact that they took the content physically away, they were out. Like, there were so many bad decisions made here. Though active deployment, we're proud of Destiny 2, the place it took us, and the legacy it has created. Because of you all, our universe is vast, built on years of shared stories, adventures, and victories. From the Cosmodrome to the Pale Heart to the Lawless Frontier, we have forged lifelong memories and friendships with you all. We are incredibly grateful to everyone who made that journey with us. Now, here's the part that actually got me a little bit. That maybe they're doing something else. From the deepest part of our hearts, thank you. And we'll see you in the stars. Now, it could be complete copium, whatever you want to call it. But that last bit there, I know is going to give a lot of Destiny, like diehard fans, some form of hope that is signaling a D3. Marathon is basically there too. Marathon's going to get its revival. Marathon now has understood that not everyone wants PvP. So they're introducing a PvE mode, which is something that I will enjoy way more than PvP. And so it's going to drag me in a little bit to give it another go. I didn't mind the PvP, but I'm quite crap against other players. I know my limits, and getting ganked on all the time isn't fun. So you bail on the game, but the PvE mode means there's no players to look out for. You've just got to out outdo the bots in the game, and hopefully I'll be better than the bots. There's always a chance, right? Rabbi, answer what? I told you I don't look at Twitter all the time. I don't look at Twitter all the time. I'm also not going to stream just because you want me to. I have a set time, and I stream at that time. Thought about buying it, but what if they shut it down soon? Marathon? Now, Marathon's got at least another year. At the very least, it has one more year. Ghosty, yeah, I saw his tweet quite late. Like I said, I was busy making a video that apparently has pissed off a lot of people. Surprisingly, apparently you can't have an opinion these days. But I was busy making that video and playing NTE, and like I said, I was feeling fully refreshed at this. I played a lot of games. Did almost finished everything I wanted to do on NTE, and then Wuthering Waves decided to release an update. I was supposed to jump into Forza Horizon 6 today, but waifus take precedence. I think you all understand this, right? I don't think I'm going to pull for Denia, though. I better not. I ain't no virgin. I've got 6 of them to prove it. Well, use that term played loosely. He held a game controller and moved things on it. Oh man, Bruno. Lately, Luna just won't get off my lap. I know she's feeling really unwell at the moment. I think she didn't like some of the stuff we gave her, or it just didn't sit well with her. So she threw up a couple of times, and now she's like super clingy. And so she literally runs up to me, climbs up, and I literally have to like use my controller like this just so I can. it's 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 an interesting time. But yeah, Marathon's going to get at least another year because they're releasing another season and they've got a roadmap planned. And I think Sony is going to really try and push Marathon to see if it will succeed. They really want it to succeed because if it doesn't, there is no incubation project. Sony's just going to, disband Bungie entirely. The NT devs are the Tower Fantasy devs, yes. Except if you look at the two games, you turn around and say, man, how can the team that made this end up being the team that worked on this? Like, the quality difference between the two is insane. It's like night and day. Hey man, you bought a Steam controller. That says everything. You can't come here and start insulting me like that. You bought a Steam controller. Just saying. You paid $100 for garbage. I mean, I know you're rich and you got money to throw around, but still, paying $100 for garbage is still garbage. Just saying. Nah, that wasn't it, Rachy. The developers openly said that Terra Fantasy won't be shut down anytime soon because they use it as a testbed now for all their other games. They're still making content for Terra Fantasy. It's just had its biggest update ever, and it looks gorgeous, by the way. It looks like they learnt a lot from NTE. But it is a testbed for them. They test stuff over at Terra Fantasy to see what works, what doesn't work, and the stuff that works gets incorporated into NTE. Anyway, it says since Destiny 2 launched, Guardians have turned back the darkness, defeated gods, shattered blades, banished nightmares, outplayed Savathun at chess, and forged legendary stories across the Sol system. On June 9th, Destiny Monument of Triumph will be available to all players. We are inviting all Guardians to take part in the celebration of these accomplishments, legends, dredgens, renegades, conquerors, new lights, and everyone in between. Each year since launch, Moments of Triumph celebrated highlights from Destiny 2's most recent chapter. This time, the Monument of Triumph update will broaden that celebration, bringing together experiences from across Destiny 2. Legendary marks return from Ages of Triumph past. Earned by completing a game-wide array of triumphs, they will grant access to a vast selection of free armor, ornaments, accessories, weapon engrams, and more. An additional title and armor ornament awaits those who range widely in their deeds, immortalizing your legacy in Destiny 2. It's going to be a big update. You absolutely have low standards. You should be over at Reforge and dropping those super chats there. I don't know, man. I feel sad about this. I do. Our goal is to ensure Destiny 2 can be a place you can come back to and feel rewarded no matter what you play. And they're basically returning everything that the community wanted. The director that was taken away, they're returning. And they're redesigning it so it works with everything else. Which hopefully will be cool. Pantheon was one of the best contents that they had, so they're bringing it back permanently as Pantheon 2.0. A new Pantheon is a permanent edition with fresh slate of new bosses, challenge to overcome. The first slate of bosses becomes available with 2 activities, each featuring unique rosters, and then June 13th, what we're calling the Gauntlet.
Hi. What do you think about Xbox offering exclusive early access, 5 days early or more, for big third-party releases as a way of competition?
Thank you for the $5. Third-party games? That could be interesting. I appreciate that. It's Broke Boy. That's actually an interesting question. I don't think they'd be allowed to do it. Personally, Microsoft would have to pay quite a bit of money to Capcom or whoever to allow them to release the games earlier only on Xbox. But as you saw with like Forza Horizon 6, early access means people are willing to pay extra to play it. So it could be an edge if they did that with every third party, but I just don't see it. It would be too big of an undertaking for Microsoft to be able to pay publishers. And as a select title based, by a case by case basis, it wouldn't be too consistent. So if you're looking at it in regards to shifting consoles, I don't think that's the right approach. It wouldn't work. But it's a cool idea. I appreciate it. Jay Spence. They're updating the dungeons, destinations, a shutdown memory leak. But the Red Wall stuff is all gone. Look at it. This is all the updates that's coming. It's massive. It's absolutely massive. The Eververse is the interesting one, right? Silver and Bright Dust. Bright Dust will continue to be an earnable currency through gameplay objectives, and we have expanded the offering of cosmetics that can be acquired. Silver will continue to be available for players to purchase and exchange for various items. Bright Dust rotation is being changed from weekly to daily. So you can earn Bright Dust in the game, which is essentially the currency you need to buy these cosmetics. But now it's going to daily, so you'll be able to. There's a much higher chance that you'll find the item that you're looking for. They're adding focused engrams, so you can try and go for what you're looking for. And they're finally, as they're deciding to, close shop, bringing back Sparrow Racing. So I will check that out. I do like Sparrow Racing. So, Sparrow Racing League returns as a permanent edition, reopening tracks from the original Destiny experience and adding new space. I mean, why didn't they do all of this before? Like 6 months ago. If they released this update 6 months ago, everyone would have been happy with Destiny and they would have continued. It's crazy how they've done all this and then decided, right, now that we're delivering a massive update, we'll call it quits. Tweets and developer insights through launch. Each week through launch, we'll be diving in a bit deeper into each subject through a mix of developer insights, articles, and this week in Destiny updates. We're spreading things out just a bit to avoid massive walls of text and information overload, while giving our teams some time for last-minute tuning and testing passes. First on our list will be deeper dive into the return of the director, how we're updated, because that was one of the big ones, right? They introduced what's called the portal, and that just became a Netflix kind of menu system, and no one liked it. It was low effort, and it was just trash. How we're updating activities across the game and how we're updating SRL for Destiny 2. This will be followed by a week of articles dedicated to our weapons sandbox, raid and dungeon updates, and then a week dedicated to armor updates and abilities. After launch, TWID will continue for a few weeks to keep you informed of any immediate Monument of Triumph news. Once we're through our launch window, our weekly blog entries will be entering a form of hibernation as well. This won't be the end of communication from us by any means, because they're still doing Marathon. We'll still be keeping in touch with you and sharing community highlights through our websites, social media channels. Once we have more news to share on Destiny, you'll be the first to know. So that's the kind of, this one over here. Once we have more news to share on Destiny, that kind of signals a Destiny 3 to me. I think they're going to surprise everyone with a Destiny 3. That's the only thing that makes sense. Hey, Calandros. They killed Destiny for you when they introduced seasons? How long will the servers remain online? Years, man. Just look at Destiny 1. That is still online and people are still playing it. So, the maintenance for something like this is very minimal. However, the money that they can make is enormous. Right? But, yeah, this bit over here, once we have more news to share on Destiny, like they're leaving that window or that door open for Destiny 3, in my opinion. I think that they're working on Destiny 3, but Sony is telling them that they can't talk about it. They can't mention it, and if it leaks, everyone loses their job. Thank you. Destiny 2 has been our home for many years. The unknown can sometimes feel weird, even a bit scary at times, but these opportunities to explore the future are invigorating. As we look ahead, our commitment remains the same: to make games we and you are excited to play. It's not marathon. From all of us here at Bungie, we cannot thank you enough for joining us on this journey throughout the Sol system. You'll still find us Starside for years to come. Per Audacia ad Astra. Uh, they fund it with this, right? Silver. People still buy that shit like crazy, man.
Yes. Just a deal for a few bigger third-party releases a year. Like Resident Evil and 007 First Light. Played 5 days early on with Xbox Early Access.
Thank you for the 5, J Spence. Do you think that that would be enough to shift an Xbox console? Because that's the main complaint that people have, right? People are concerned that if they're not shifting enough consoles, that's the concern that studios will skip. The big ones aren't skipping right now, and that's fine. But to say that no games are skipping Xbox is a false fallacy, because they are on a daily basis. And sure, there might not be the games that you want. And ultimately, for PC gamers, you're not getting anything skipped because everything releases on Steam, right? But for the Xbox gamer itself, it's a problem. And so it would help, people. What this would do, in my opinion, is get people to buy the Xbox version first, because they're going to want to play it and not have it spoiled before anything else. The hardcore are going to probably want to go down that direction. But will it move the needle? I'm not so sure. SKG movement?
Third-party early access along exclusives would do it for sure.
If you're talking about exclusives, see, exclusives are the big one, right? And that's what, everyone is waiting for. This new guy that's just come in, this bull guy, he's basically being brought in to push the Xbox console to the forefront, make it more relevant, and make people actually want to buy it. That's his role. And from my personal stance, exclusives are the only way. But you have a problem there, because even if it is exclusive to the Xbox console, it's still on PC. So how do they get around that? Do they just stop releasing it on PC? I can't see that happening. The best I can see them doing is making it, truly ecosystem friendly and leaving it on the Xbox app only. But again, would Microsoft do that? It's a big question. But exclusives are definitely the way forward if you want to push your console. If you want to sell the console, that is the only way. This wasn't the CTO I'm talking about. The CTO is that Savini guy, right? Where is he?
Exclusives alongside big third-party early access for big releases.
Yeah, that could work. That could work, J Spence. But the exclusives would need to be actual exclusives, not thing. So this is the guy, Scott Van Vliet. I'm never going to pronounce his name right. Is it Vliet? Vliet? He's the CTO. The one that's going to be making these decisions is Matthew Ball. He's the CSO, I believe. Chief Strategy Officer. No, you're just remembering wrong. I mean, I've literally just shown you on screen. But if you ask me, they need to do two things now. I mean, obviously they're going to wait until June the 7th, and Gears is going to be the likely candidate for them to use as a guinea pig to see how it works. Because let's face it, Gears is very good at being a guinea pig. Isn't that right, Steve? Little piggy. Little piggy Marcus. But this is the guy that I think will ultimately make that decision by June the 7th. Hey, chat, has anyone in here played Nikkei? You'll see where I'm going with this, but has anyone here played Nikkei? Goddess of Victory. But you don't care for the console, Steve, so, you know, that's perfectly understandable. And you've got no reason to care for the console. Only Nikki, Jesus. Dude, why? So there's a little thing in there. There's a little thing in Nikkei called Doro. It's just this little kind of little piggy with Dorothy's face on it. I was gonna say it's Marcus's face on there, but no one's really played it. Oh, Kaladros, you've played it. That's good enough. Then you should know what Doro is, Vital. That's all that matters. Just put Marcus's face on Doro and you're good. Going to be the title that will sell millions upon millions on PS5 since they suck at shooters. I also don't think that's, you know, Gears E-Day is a small game, right? It's not a big game. Now Gears 6 is, or I think, yeah, Gears 6 is going to be the next big Gears franchise game. Gears E-Day is more like a side story step in. It's a prequel. It's not going to have the same effort as a numbered franchise. And so I feel like this is going to be an adequate test for them to test it on a smaller game to see what the revenue income will be from PC and Xbox. They've already got, you know, data now from Forza Horizon 6 showing that, you know, people are buying the game, even if it is early access. But they've got 6 million players now, right? That's crazy. Now, how many of those actually bought the game is, you know, clearly another matter. Where is it? I did have it here. Forza Horizon now has over 6 million players, and I still haven't even put it on yet. But I did come across this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it because I thought it was quite interesting, right? It kind of ties into what we're talking about right now. So I'll add it here. If exclusives come back to Xbox, but they're only playable in Game Pass, so that means no Steam, no PlayStation, nothing. Will y'all be okay with that? You can't buy it for a period of time, say 3 months to 6 months. You can only rent it through Game Pass, boosting and forcing people into Game Pass, and also quenching the exclusivity first. What do you think about that? 5.9 million is Game Pass? Nah. Over 1 million at least is on Steam. I mean, there'll be people. There's gonna be diehard Steam bros who will, like Bruno, who will say, "I ain't buying that game unless it's on Steam." right? So there'll always be those people that will hold out or just outright refuse to buy it. Like, dude, there's people out there that literally refuse to buy Alan Wake because it was an Epic Game Store. That they enjoyed the first Alan Wake, they were looking forward to Alan Wake 2, but because it wasn't on Steam, they just wouldn't buy it. So those Steam bros out there, those weirdos, yeah, they will actually just hold out until the end of time and wait for it to come to Steam and then buy it. No offense to any Steam bros in the chat. Look, Alan Wake does not suck. It's a great game. Should have won Game of the Year. But no, seriously, what do you think about this? This would mean that it would go to PC after, to Steam probably after 3 months or 6 months. But if you want to play it day one on PC, you can through Game Pass PC or Game Pass Ultimate. You can download it natively and just play it. Two was great. It had amazing moments. It was phenomenal. They're just pirating. I mean, they're pirating it anyway. That's not going to stop. Should have released it on Steam though. Valve didn't want to support the game in any way, shape, or form. Epic funded pretty much the whole game. It only exists because of Epic, so I don't see a problem with it being only on Epic. I mean, you could still get early access, right? Just like you can now. You could still pay for the premium package to get 5 days early access. Why is OBS constantly disconnecting and then reconnecting? Interesting. I'll have to look into that at some point. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. It's an interesting thought. Hell no. If they do that, there's no meaningful sub increase. You might as well. I've been trying to find a balance. Both is always bad. It looks like the majority of people down here don't think it's a good idea. But hey, if you're looking at player choice and what the votes are saying, more and more people are voting for exclusives. Make player online. Backwards compatibility is about to overtake free online access. Achievements is way below. Avatars, and there's a few more. But these are the three major ones that are right now in there. Then you can just keep playing it on Game Pass, innit? No harm, no foul. It is always going to be a limited sample size, right? I wouldn't call it a stupid idea. Are you a shareholder of Xbox? Like, do you have any shares in Microsoft? Maybe that's too personal of a question. But if you do, I can understand why you're saying what you're saying. And if you don't, then why do you care? Is my response to that. There are 13 plus. I mean, are there 30 plus million consoles out there? We know that on average about 35, maybe even 40 million consoles sold. But the number of people who jump ship from Xbox to PC is pretty big. Because let's face it, right now, PC is the best place to play Xbox games. It's also the cheapest place to get Game Pass. I ticked both. I didn't ask for one over the other. I ticked both. You're one of them, exactly. If they really want to see what Xbox gamer really want, it should be a survey given out to the console itself. They probably might do. Oh god, don't start with a full screen ads. People already have a meltdown with those. Can you imagine them doing a survey? They already have a problem with pressing the B button for like a split second and the ad going away indefinitely. Can you imagine if they put a survey up there that would require like 10 seconds of your time? Do you want exclusives, yes or no? I mean, literally, that's going to be the only question that they need to ask. See, what I think Microsoft needs to do, right, isn't so much. I think they need to let people know what having exclusives mean. What will you gain and what will you lose? I think that's the most important thing that needs to be communicated, and I don't think that's going to be communicated. And I do believe that they're going to go to exclusives. In order to try and move the consoles, they are going to try and do exclusives. Especially if they're not doing a Helix S variant that's going to be on the cheaper end to, capture people to go and buy it. Mate, you're talking like you've never seen the British election. There's like 90 million people in this country, but 35 people go to vote. And that 35 people decides what's happening for 70 million people. Well, can there be a balance between Game Pass and exclusives? Hey, did COVID hit that hard? It was like 78 million a few years ago. This isn't like the Spanish flu, man. Although that did take 50 million. Taking Game Pass away won't make me buy games. I will play less. I think it's more about attracting new people into the system. Release games an hour before. Oh. It was maximum profit. What about a system where AA games, single A games release day one on Game Pass, but AAA released like, I don't know, a month later. I don't know. I'm just exploring what would be acceptable, what wouldn't be, in order to push sales. Because this guy over here, from what I found out, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Chat, where is he? This guy over here, the new CSO for Xbox, he hates Game Pass. He absolutely hates Game Pass, from what I've read. He does not like it. He's not a fan of it. And he doesn't believe in Game Pass. So, what that means, if anything, God knows. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no, Ghosty. They could have another price cut. It's not like we don't expect other games to come off now. Let's not be ludicrous about this. Other games will drop off the system. To do what's right for the console. To bring Xbox back to where it needs to be in a competing platform. And so if it's not exclusives, let me ask you guys, how can Xbox compete with the likes of Nintendo and PlayStation? Because that's what Microsoft wants in the end, right? They want to compete and they want to make sure they've got their box in the living room and not any other box, competing box. You'll be stopping your support probably in the next year or two then, Steve. Because I'm telling you, more games are going to come off. You're a smart person. There is no way on this planet, and, you know, I'd like to say I'm a good judge of character when I say you're a smart person. There is no way on this planet that you cannot foresee them doing that. Not in a million years. There's no shot that you genuinely believe that they are not going to take other games off. No way. I have had discussions with you. You are not a naive person. If they were to do that, COD was added. No, they wouldn't. COD was added following the acquisition of ABK, but there are millions who signed up based on first-party day one on Game Pass. They never said that they would be putting it indefinitely on Game Pass. In fact, one of the stipulations in the court was that they couldn't use Call of Duty as a reason to bring customers over from PlayStation or Nintendo to buy Xboxes. They couldn't use Call of Duty in any way to promote Xbox.
317 celebrates 7 months of
Hey,
membership.
thank you for the membership, PS5 Blows. I appreciate it. So, you know, the fact that it's off Game Pass, you know, the courts are like, oh yeah, that's really good, man. That's good. You're living up to what you promised us. You're not using it as a tool. So, yeah, removing it off Game Pass actually works in favor of Microsoft under these circumstances. Give Xbox exclusive content that you can only get on Xbox, except for Call of Duty. Like I said, RSJ fan, they can't use Call of Duty in any way for 10 years to get an advantage over any competitor. Yeah, but you said COD. No other game was stipulated. Only Call of Duty was the one that was singled out. Everything else was fair play. You know, Jim Ryan said, I don't care, you know, about the deal. I just want it to fail. He doesn't care about Microsoft, the actual concept of Microsoft buying it. He wanted it to fail. There was no real thing here. Jim Ryan just out of spite wanted it to fail, and then the FTC just decided to lambast onto Call of Duty, listening to Jim Ryan, and they went down the Call of Duty route, hoping that they would win. And so that's why Phil Spencer, under oath, said that he would never use or, remove Call of Duty from PlayStation. Even after the 10 years, it won't make any difference. I know Tim Dog right now is telling everyone in 2032, he even got the date wrong, that Call of Duty is going to be exclusive. It's not. Because it's just not, it's not going to do anything. Call of Duty is too big of a game to keep on one platform. Now, if they did make it exclusive, I'm sure they'd get quite a few people coming along. But then you've got people on PC. And so maybe people will move over to PCs instead and still not buy an Xbox. So it's a bit difficult. Yeah, they got around that, didn't they? With the if you buy it, you can have it on cloud. You have to buy it. It's not just working there. The same for Diablo 4, right? Diablo 4 wasn't available. I don't know if it's available now on xCloud or if it's still not available, but it's a thing. Case by case port live service games to. See, to me, live service games, and I think this Sony's being, absolute bellends on this. Any company that makes a live service game, I think they should push it out to everyone. Even Stadia, even Soldier Boy. I think they should do it. They should push it out to everyone because a live service game, you want as many people playing it. You want as many hands on it. You want as many players playing, so it keeps the game alive. Limiting it in any way is dumb. Like what they did with Helldivers 2 was dumb. Do you honestly believe, and I'm going to ask you guys this now straight up, Helldivers 2, it sold well when it launched on Xbox. Do you believe it wouldn't have sold even better if it launched day and date on Xbox when it launched? When the hype was real? Everyone and their grandma was talking about it. It literally became a sensation. Do you honestly believe Helldivers 2 wouldn't have done much better on Xbox had they launched it day one? Gears isn't a live service game. Halo single player campaign isn't a live service game. Forza fine. They can strip the multiplayer for Gears and they can strip the multiplayer for Halo. Easy. Done. Jobs are good un. If it wouldn't have, if it ain't on Game Pass, but it did sell. It sold more in its 6 days than it did on PlayStation. Keep the main campaign exclusive. Do what you want with the online multiplayer. Now, if you're going to add like expansions and DLCs, that's not live service. Live service is Destiny. Live service is Warframe. Live service is The Division. That's live service. Having a roadmap for expansions is not live service. I know you're touchy about Gears, but it is not live service. Helldivers 2 damaged Gears Reloaded sell as they came out same day. Honestly, I don't think it really mattered considering they were giving the game away for free. Except to me. I didn't get it for free. They wouldn't give it to me for free. I know. The monthly content was for the online service. The multiplayer. Yeah, them giving the game away for free, they didn't really expect anything. I think they just did it just to see what people on PlayStation would think of when it came to Gears. Was there a demand for it? Not necessarily vital. We're talking about live service here. And I think what they did was a mistake. This is why I'm saying, like, if they released an Halo Infinite 2 with multiplayer, I think the multiplayer should go everywhere. But I think the main campaign should be left on the Xbox console. That's just me, though, man. Look, I'm not saying you guys have to agree with me, by the way. I'm just saying this is my opinion. I respect your guys' opinion. You may be wrong, but I still. uh... Oh man, today it was hilarious. Apparently, if you want exclusives as an Xbox fan, you are officially a pony. That is what was the final outcome for today that I saw. I'm not gonna name who said it. It is a high, a high-end content creator, bigger than me, right? But if you want exclusives, apparently you're a pony. So having a differing opinion makes you a pony. Now, what has the community come to? We can't have a discussion. We can't have a discourse about differing opinions. I ain't no pony. And you know what? I sent you a steering wheel earlier today, and you still didn't reply to me. Your job is literally to reply to me. Get to it. Did you reply to me? Oh, wait. You did reply to me. You know what? I take that back. You did your job very well. It's not very good, but an okay starter for. What do you mean it's not very good? It's one of the ones recommended by Playground. That's why I picked it. I ain't no pony, right? Look, why am I a pony? Because I like exclusives? What do you mean it's crap? It's got a wheel on it and buttons and pedals. What bloody hell more do you want? You have a PlayStation. That is not a PlayStation Glass. I came from no stable. I did like my PS4 though. To me, the strategy would be release games everywhere but PlayStation. But PlayStation. But then you're making it exclusive. Vital. You just said. I mean, when you say everywhere, you're saying Xbox PC, cloud, and Xbox console. I mean, you're not including Steam in that, are you? No one wants to include Steam. I have nothing. I've just got this see-through glass. Nah, that's Chili, man. Chili replies nay. He used to jump into stream and just start, barking like a horse. Xbox One was the top 3 console of all time. Look, I'm an Xbox guy, right? But there's no shot in hell that anyone is gonna tell me that Xbox One was top 3 console. Nah, that is not happening. Black John, I'm not gonna name names. But I'm guessing you've already seen the tweet. So you know. You know. I am an Xbox guy. I play games on my Xbox more than you do. But then you're saying you believe in exclusives. Yeah, the PS2 definitely was in the top consoles. And I'm gonna say, me being biased, it's a kind of draw between the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. I like them both equally well. There were some great games on the Sega Saturn. Vince, that is exactly what I'm talking about, man. That is exactly it. That is it. That is the point. That's what I'm talking about. Right? And the reality is, right, what people are worried about, and I understand this concern because I have 2 minds in getting games on Xbox, and I see a bunch of you in chats doing this as well, right? So it's not like I'm the only one doing this. If it's not Play Anywhere, you have 2 minds between actually buying the game on Xbox or Steam. Right? For those of you that do have a powerful PC. You have to think about it if it's not Play Anywhere. But that just tells you the reason you're doing that isn't because Play Anywhere is such a good deal. It's because you're actually concerned that if things continue the way they are, support for Xbox as a console is going to end. Now, Helix will survive regardless of what happens, right? They don't have to release a version of their game on the Series X. They could just abandon the Series S and X entirely and just release the games on Helix. They can do that. And that, the Helix code is essentially the PC code. They can do that. And that's the concern people have. If the consoles aren't brought to the forefront and people don't have a reason to buy them, and they become diminishing in numbers compared to what the market is desiring as acceptable and profitable to decide to publish their games on, that is what people are concerned about. Whether that's a valid concern or not is irrelevant. That is people's concern. It is, most people, I believe, are worried about this. I mean, games do play better on Xbox PC. They can go back to early map packs and stuff with COD for Xbox. They can't, dude. They can't do that. Not until 2033. And even then, Phil Spencer under oath, I know he's no longer there anymore, but he was representing Microsoft. He said that they would never use Call of Duty as a way to gain advantage over other platforms. And he would, not restrict them. Now, companies like Sony and else didn't believe Microsoft, and that's why they went out their way to do a 10-year contract. But even after that, I just don't see it. Now, If Sony right now wanted to have exclusive skins, they could do it. They're allowed to under the legal definition provided, right? Because they wouldn't be. Only Microsoft can't use it to gain an advantage. Nothing was mentioned about Sony. And if they pay enough money, Microsoft would just say, go ahead. We all know this. I mean, Sony was so desperate, they paid Microsoft for an exclusive trailer. Who the f does that? Who does that? Who pays someone to get an exclusive trailer for their, for Microsoft owned? So Microsoft basically told Sony, you want this exclusive trailer of Doom? Give me money. And Sony said, I'll give you money. And so Sony said, ha! I got an exclusive trailer for a first-party Xbox game that Xbox can't showcase. Let's go! I didn't read your responses. Yeah, they can't. They love wasting money. God, that was special, man. That was special. That was pretty unique. Paying money to get an exclusive trailer of Doom was probably one of the lowest things I've ever seen. I saw no tweet, but I watched Boom show. I haven't been on his show for a while, to be fair. He's always left the door open for me, but because I now stream on my other YouTube channel, I do gameplay streams of games that I'm playing. It just doesn't work out. So unless I finish really early or start really late, the times just don't work out anymore, which is a shame. I did enjoy going on his show. Yeah, nobody bought it. Apparently 200,000 people bought it on PlayStation. That was pretty rough. I think like 5 million played it on Xbox Game Pass. They did, Banisher. They did. They had an exclusive intro for the game. What am I explaining? Okay, I haven't seen you ask anything else. Dreamcast games are great, but PS2 just had way more. Hey, look. You're not going to beat the awesome Dreamcast. That was just phenomenal. What am I explaining, Kage? Do you know what? We did get a membership though, didn't we? We got a membership, so we gotta change it. We gotta change it. We're at 20. We're at 20, just 5 more to go. I ain't no pony! Well, you know what? You guys can accuse me of being pony, that's fine. As long as I ain't bald. That's all good. String theory? Yeah, I'm not going to explain string theory. Not even Sheldon can explain string theory. Not in any meaningful way. Can you fly away so I don't have to kill you? Look, I'm giving you a chance to live. That's more chance than I would give any other bug. You just need to get out of my sight so I never have to see. Okay, good. You live. Look, I ain't bald. I got perfectly good hair. You guys are just jealous of my amazing hair. Yeah, there has been some weird, really dumb things that I've seen over the years that people have paid for exclusivity. But for a cutscene, that had to be the icing on the cake. Trailer was the worst. I didn't agree with Hargreaves' argument that Game Pass will go away if they stop porting to Sony. So Hargreaves basically saying that if they stop porting to PlayStation, Game Pass will disappear. Is that correct? Do I understand that correct? And honestly, they could just do the early access thing, right? They could continue doing that. Nah, I don't think it'll be buy by Xbox at all. If they continue down the path that they're going now, it's going to be buy by Xbox. It's going to be hello PC, but buy by Xbox. And that's the thing. If you guys want the Xbox console to die, this is the current path trajectory is the way to go. That's my opinion. I don't want that to happen. I like my Xbox. I got lots of games on there. I don't want it to disappear. The pay for online Navy is likely going to disappear once we go over to Helix. I think that's why no one's really talking about it, because it does feel like once we go over to Helix, it's probably going to die out. Because let's face it, if you buy if you've got an Xbox game and it turns out and then they say, right, which version are you going to buy? The Helix version, which will run better, perform better, have no online requirement for you to pay for, or are you going to buy the Xbox version that's going to run worse, maybe hit 30 FPS, and require Xbox Live? Which one are you going to go with? Bearing in mind, the same machine will play both. You're going to go with the Series X version, which is inferior in every way possible, or the Helix version, which is going to be way more powerful, way better looking, probably have ray tracing and path tracing, and no online requirement. No, all they're going to do with Game Pass is remove the live requirement from it. They will keep Game Pass exactly the way it is. You'll still get your day one games, you'll get your all of the stuff that you like, but that requirement that's on there, that's that it says you're paying for Xbox Live Gold or Xbox Live, they're going to remove that and then say, right, we're not actually going to reduce the price because market conditions, dictate we have to increase the price. So we're going to keep it at the same price, so you don't have to worry about it. And they're going to use that market conditions again. You bought all the Xbox games except for Sea of Thieves and Starfield? Why not Starfield? But I only use my PC to play Xbox Game Pass games, and so why would you buy a Helix? Vital, they already give them a 12% share. How much more do you want them to give them? Unlike Valve, Sony, Xbox console, who charges 30%, for the PC portion of gaming, Microsoft already only charged them 12%. There's no Templars in space. Ah, that makes perfect sense. That actually explains everything. So the PC app already offers them 12%. It's not about the better deal. Is it 12.5% or something like that? It's the same as Epic, right? It's trying to get people to come. What Microsoft is having a problem with right now is people embracing the Xbox PC app. But when they're putting all their games on another launcher, which is way more popular, why would anyone turn around and use the Xbox PC app? That's the question. Now you could say Game Pass, and that's a valid point, right? You'd need to boot it up through the PC App Store, and that's a valid thing. But Game Pass isn't growing at the rate that people want it to grow. So, if you're constantly giving your games away to another launcher, well, how do you get people to use yours? The only way you can do that is by having all of your Activision games, all of your Blizzard games, all of your ZeniMax games, all of your Xbox Studio games, only on PC Xbox app. Not on any other launcher, not on Epic, not on Steam, not on GOG, nowhere. It's still on PC, so if people want to use it, they are forced to use your app. They will resist for a little while. Then all Microsoft will go and do is buy another 2 or 3 more studios, and they ain't got a choice because there's not enough games left for anyone else anyway. It's all going to be on the Xbox app. Just buy the market. Okay, maybe that one won't go down so well. But it's a possibility. I use the Xbox app more than I use Steam. I use Steam mainly when the deals are cheaper. Steam is a big hindrance, right? And Steam isn't even in the ecosystem. But it is a major part of the gaming sector. See, I think that if they made their games on PC, Xbox PC app only, on the cloud, and on Xbox console, I think that would work. I think that would definitely work. Because those PC players, they would rather buy an Xbox console than use the Xbox PC app. And so you'll get millions upon millions of those Steam bros finally buying an Xbox. Or they're all just going to become Johnny Depp and decide to pirate on the high seas. That would be an interesting thing to see. A whole ship of Steam bros. Actually. And look, I like Xbox app. I don't understand why people don't like it. I like it. Although I did I'm going to check out this thing called Winhanced. That's kind of cool. I really like the look of it, and it's got some really cool features that the Xbox PC app doesn't. And you can kind of use both on your ROG LIX. So I'm going to try it out and see what happens. The 5% wouldn't do it. I've seen people, I think even Doc Dark, he was willing to pay $15 above what Xbox was asking for just so he could buy it on Steam. There were people at the time begging for Epic to release Alan Wake 2 $20 higher than what it was selling for on the Epic Game Store over at Steam so they could buy it. They were willing to pay $20 more. So 5% ain't gonna cut it. Raichi, that's not what I said, man, but it is exactly what I said. Just like they made Xbox Live Gold so trash, people migrated towards. Man, they made Xbox Live Gold so bad that it was embarrassing, man. And you still had people crying because they were happy to take those games that were from the dollar menu. Goggle Poe, yeah, we covered that earlier. It is a massive shame. Sony really made the wrong choice there, man. They absolutely made the wrong choice there. There's no thing in my bones that they did not make the wrong choice there. They should have really doubled down on it. So, Steve, you're against exclusives, but how would you feel about games being no longer put on Steam? They're on the Xbox PC app, on the Xbox console, and cloud. True ecosystem. Would you be okay with that? Well, there's kind of a few snippets inside the last twib or twab that they released um, that kind of indicates that there's a Destiny 3 coming. There's just two lines in there that kind of signal or give hope that there is a Destiny 3. But let's face it, I think it, as the Cross said this once, that Destiny 2 needs to die before Destiny 3 can begin. And so, who knows? They don't have the team that they used to have for Destiny. Most of the team has gone to Marathon at this point, over half. So, the Marathon team is way bigger now than Destiny. So, the team managing Destiny is so small now. So, if they're going to work on a Destiny 3, they have to kill Destiny 2. And so, the hope is that, by 2077, Destiny 3 might get introduced. My money is on the Division 3 coming sooner, though. In fact, I think Half-Life 3 and GTA 6 might come sooner, too. Look at Steam Bro Bruno, man. That guy's like, no, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it. I won't buy it, man. I'm not gonna buy it. They're not releasing it on my Steam, man. I'm not gonna buy it. What right choice has Sony made this generation? Seriously, probably none. Unless GTA 6 will probably be teased faster. Half-Life 3 will never exist, rather allergic to the number 3. That's why it's not going to be called Half-Life 3. Alex was Half-Life 3. It's going straight to Half-Life 4. They're going to use that. Guaranteed. But do you know what? If they ever did break the curse and actually release the Half-Life 3, then you got, Team Fortress 3. What's that multiplayer game? Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3, Counter Strike 3. Man, they'll go forever. They'll have games for days if they could ever break that curse. Publishing Helldivers 2 on Xbox was a good choice. In fact, Returnal actually, in a playable form on Xbox, exists. Right? I heard that under good authority. It exists. It's playable. But Sony decided, nah, we're not going to give it to Xbox. We'd rather just take their games and give them nothing. And see, that's where I draw the line. If they're gonna be this way, why is Xbox giving them anything to begin with? Let's face it, Xbox has been saving Sony this whole year. Ever since they cancelled those 13 games, that's it. Xbox has been the one that has, saved them by releasing game after game and giving them to them day one. But if they're going to be so petty and turn around and say, "No, we've got a working build, but we're just not going to give it to you because we don't want to. We want to see you drown and burn." Like, why on earth are you going to continue giving your games to them? Out of just spite, I'd just tell them to piss off. Sony did nothing and won against Xbox. I mean, they did do something, Rachie. That's not true. They took all of Xbox's games. Destiny's done at this point. There's no reviving it. Bruno is a fake piece of guy. He's the pony at heart. We all know he's a pony at heart. Look at Left 4 Dead 2. They deliberately left the number 3 out of it. Dota 3. Apparently, according to rumors, Half-Life 3 will be a debut game launch title for the Steam machine. So either this is going to be the greatest, the most magnificent kept secret of all time, or it's basically bollocks. Nah, Xbox they don't need to lead by example. They need to be as petty as everyone else. People will still buy Destiny 3 when it comes out. Just hope it's not. If Destiny 3 comes along, it is definitely going to be a PlayStation and PC exclusive. It is not coming on Xbox. That's just not the way Sony works. Sony will do everything in its power to make sure Xbox is dead. That is literally their existence. That's what they've been brought onto this planet to do. To destroy Xbox. They will not work with Xbox. However, they will take everything that Xbox has to give them to make the console irrelevant so people can buy more PS5s, but they won't go out their way to give them anything. Not even scraps, man. How many games has Xbox given PlayStation, and what have they given in return? I mean, even, Returnal was finally going to come out on Xbox, which, believe me, is a good game. And they canned that as well? Hey, be nice, how's it going? Banisher, it'll be here. I mean, Rachie, they were aggressively undercutting the Sega Saturn and Dreamcast. Especially the Dreamcast. They were heavily undercutting it. Nah, we don't have to evolve. Man, did you guys see that post I made on X and how people got really salty about it? The show being multiplat was because of MLB, not Sony. Sony actually argued to stop it from being multiplat, but MLB got their way and made it fake. All right, I'm going to show you guys something, right? There is no shot that anyone could think I'm being serious with this. Right? I said, right, if exclusives are anti-consumer, is getting married anti-consumer too? The person you marry is now exclusive to your platform. And as such, you are choosing not to share with other human platforms. Even more anti-consumer. No one else can ever share in your experience. As the exclusivity, it's perma till death do you part. Should we change how this works so you can use on whatever human platform you like? Can anyone tell me how you can honestly believe that I'm being serious here? Like, seriously, I can't believe people took this seriously. Can we actually see? No, it won't allow me to see it. Who quoted? There was a quote tweet. They actually took me seriously. Nah, you're good, Steve. You're exclusive. That's all that matters. So you are definitely for exclusives. I get it. It's what's important. I can't believe that people thought I was actually being thing. The market is demanding I go multiplayer. It was a joke. Come on, anyone reading that can tell it was a joke. It was clearly a joke. I even ended it as a joke as well. I said, being anti-consumer sounds good now, eh? I did not mean it at all. I refute that claim. I am not a pony. Multi-platform wives husbands. Yeah, actually. You read that as serious? Nah, there's no way you would read that as serious. That would be a joke you'd probably have on a Friday evening at the pub. Something you'd laugh along to. Marvel should demand Wolverine be multiplat. They will sell more copies. That's up to. If Marvel really wanted to, they could. They're clearly happy with what's being sold, and if they don't sell, well, Marvel get a much better cut. Chaos has lost it. I have not lost it. I've just had good sleep, so I am happy. Chaos wants that police station. Nah, we're good, man. We're good. I'm just surprised that people took that seriously. So I thought that was a bit outrageous. I have been getting weird people following me now, though. Ever since I posted that. It all adds to the. It all adds as I get closer to 2,000 followers on Twitter. Might get there one day, boys. We might get there one day. The hell is this? Never mind. Have you guys seen this? To improve accessibility options, we've updated the Xbox Adaptive Thumbstick toppers. Kind of cool. The biggest change in history since your king made a religious divorce. Wait, what? This is an Xbox. Play anywhere, wives in it. Oh my god, what is wrong with you, chat? Weird people trying to get early access from. No early access here, man. No early access here. So it turns out Sony told a little white lie. A very little white lie. They said that the PlayStation Plus subscription thing going up was only for PS Plus subscribers. But they lied. Extras has gone up as well for 1 month only, and 3 months has gone up as well. They lied. They lied. Why would you lie about this? So it's not just essentials, but extras and premium have been hit as well. They made it sound like it was only essentials being increased. Hey man, the retro ones are the best, right? For the payers. And no one's really talking about it. It's crazy. Like, Sony outright lied. Did you guys see that Colin Moriarty story? Where he got hacked and got his account back in 3 days. And so apparently he's done a lot of research, spoken to a lot of Sony dudes and whatnot, and he's put forward like suggestions for them, and they've taken into consideration what he's saying, and working with them to find ways to mitigate what's going on, because it's super easy to get your account hacked on PlayStation right now, really easy. And then he turns around and goes, I could tell you all now in this tweet thread, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it on my live show. I'm not going to monetize that show in terms of paywalling it for members. So it's going to be open to everyone. But yeah, I'm going to totally monetize it by not telling people what was discussed here and making you watch the show. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Vince, that's it. But I suspect 12 months is going to get increased as well. I feel like this is just being done now, so it prepares, for GTA. Accessibility wives. Ah, what the hell did I start? It's part of the course now. Sony does shady shit. People ignore it. Xbox does the slightest thing, and it's universally loved. Universally loved. 9,000 videos. Yeah, it's just weird, man. Like, don't really see anyone talking about it, but like Puerto Rock said, and I agree with what he said, not everyone is a Colin Moriarty, right? The average Joe out there won't have the Sony contacts, won't have the Sony support, is just going to get barged away like Colin was originally and told to just go away. And so what about those people who lose their PlayStation accounts? Albeit, apparently, it is self-inflicted. Apparently, the way people are hacking accounts is self-inflicted. So, those idiots you find online on social media that go and buy a game and then show the receipt of the game and it has that code on it. It's not your bank number or anything, but it's a specific code on there. And so idiots that actually show that code, as long as you know that person's email address, you can basically tell Sony on support, I bought this game, here's the code, and that code will match what's on your account. Right? And you tell them, look, I can't access my account. Can you bypass 2FA for me? And I'm just going to change my email address as well. And they do it all for you without even thinking. That's how easy it is to hack a PlayStation account. But like I said, it's self-inflicted. If you don't post your receipts online, they can't do anything. I mean, today my account they attempted to hack my Xbox account, which was a bit nasty. They actually tried to brute force my 2FA. It didn't work. And so I got an auto recovery email come through, which I deleted because there's no need for it. They couldn't get through. But the one thing I wish Microsoft allowed you to do is to change your email address. I wish you could change your email address. Because mine is, obviously, because I've had my dashboard up, people have seen my email address. So that'll be something that I just won't do in the future. But it's out there. And there's nothing I can do to take that back. I wish you could change it. No. This one was different. Steve. Normally they try to hack it, and that's fine. But this one, they tried to get... They seem to have bypassed my password. Now, there's no way they're going to guess my password. I know they're not, because I can't remember it half the time myself. I have to look at the notepad to remember what it is, because it is literally that long. But they bypassed it. They got through the password. And they couldn't get through the 2FA. I've tried. It creates only an alias. An alias is no good if they can still have access to your main account. And if you know something different, maybe after stream you can show me or tell me about it or send me a link or something, because I desperately want to change my email address. I can tell you, at least over here, that my password is at least 3 to 4 times, at least, longer than that. Maybe more. Way more. It's way more. I won't go into any more details as to what, but it's way more than that. Way more than 4 times. What they do is they gain access to your account, Woodpit, and change your password. And the last time we lost access to an email account was when my son's email account got hacked. Something to do with Roblox. And Microsoft just wouldn't give the account back. If they hack into my Microsoft account, they gain access to everything I've got on Microsoft. My licenses, my Xbox account, all my games, everything. All my digital licenses, everything. No, that's probably about 25%. When I got hacked and I quickly managed to get in and change my password on Xbox, I don't even know how they managed to guess my original password. I made my password so stupidly long that it's insane. It's so long that my kids refuse to put it in when I make changes. Because every time I change it, I make it like 10, 15, 20 characters longer. That's a lot nice. Just asking for no reason. No. So, 007. First Light targets 60 FPS everywhere except the Series S, as IO blames RAM and GPU headroom for the cutback. So the Series S is going to be aiming for 30 FPS. Everything else, including, well, no, the Switch 2 is at 0 FPS because they're not getting it, is going to be 60 FPS. So you've got 0 FPS, 30 FPS, and then targeting 60 FPS. I'm using the authenticator as well, Steve. Like I said, I don't know how they managed to brute force it, but they managed to get them to send me a recovery code. Or maybe that was just Windows doing what Hotmail doing what it was doing. Either way, because my account's in the public domain, it's a lot more dangerous for me. Series S needs better upscaling. I don't care about 30 FPS, but make the image clearer. There's only so much they can do, man. Right? There's only so much they can do because they have to lower the resolution in order to get the game at a respectable performance. Oh, how? What did they do? Gorsty, you gonna allow that? He said Bond game looks shit. I don't think you. Where's your hired goons, man? Now's the thing. Yeah, because they can bypass it, Vinci. See, if you've got, you know how you see all these PlayStation gamers online saying like, "Oh, look, we buy our games," and they show you the nice receipt with the game. That receipt has a certain number on there that none of these idiots decide to, block out. And so then what you do is you go on support, PlayStation support, and say, "Hey, this is my email address. Here is proof of a game that I've purchased that I've played on my console. Here is the code. I just can't access my PSN account. So, 2FA isn't doing what it needs to do. Can you get around this?" And then Sony support says, "Oh, you've given me your email address and you've given me that code, which proves proof of purchase. Yes, I will now disable 2FA. I will disable passkey, and I will change the email address that you have so desired. Here you go. All is done." Or they'll just give them a new password. And then they use that to log in. With 2FA and passkey disabled, they go straight in, and they go to your account page, and then they change the email address, the password, and then Bob's your uncle. It really is that easy on PlayStation. Like, that's a joke. That's an absolute joke. Hey, breaking is amazing. Fair Games realized I wasn't going to do it, so they decided to call it breaking. Oh, that is so bad. It looks like Henri. Woodpit. If they got access to your Microsoft account, they take literally you lose your whole Xbox account because that's your Microsoft account. So they might not gain anything monetary, but they're going to gain all of your games. You lose access to, 10 years worth of games like that. Blink of an eye. All those games you purchased, all those games you got, all that Game Pass you paid for, you lose everything in the blink of an eye. They now have full control of that. Supposedly he will. Xenos over the last year has become a total, arsehole, if you ask me. He used to be one of these people that, really wanted to help the community. But at some point, he decided to become Asmongold and take that persona. And I don't think it's worked really well for him. You can see that that's where he was going for, and it just doesn't work for him. That's how I got my Epic account back. That was hacked. I haven't played Fortnite for a long time, but I did have V-Bucks purchased that they worked from to get it back. Yeah. From the hacker side, hey, look, I've got this account. It's got 200 games on there. I'll sell it to you for $500, or I'll sell it to you for 250. Quick sell, and they'll sell your account for 250. If you've got so many games on there, which they're gonna see, that's an easy way of them just flogging your account off to someone else. That's how most of these sites do it, right? They hack into people's like MMO accounts, change the username, password, and sell it on. I remember one time I was playing Final Fantasy 11 and I wanted to jailbox, and I just couldn't be bothered to create a new account, so I went and bought one, right? And I met someone on my server actually owned that account. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. It was unbelievable that I ran into that person. I gave them the account. It was theirs because they proved it was theirs. All the items that they said would be on there was theirs. And I knew they were a respectable person on that server as well. So I gave it back to them. And then did a chargeback on my bank to get my money back. But it happens, man. Hey, there was no way I'm restarting a second character. My first character is good enough. I wanted to jailbox. I needed a little Mithra that was going to be there as my white mage healer that would basically heal me for everything she's got. And she healed me good. And you know what? Chili knows what I'm talking about. Chili knows exactly what I'm talking about. That white mage bot was insane. That could heal you quicker than any player out there. Shit, the moment the attack hit you, it knew that you was about to get bitch slapped and it would start healing. That was a good bot. That white mage bot was insane. That white mage bot was like, you're about to get hit. How do you know? Slap. I told you you're about to get hit, but don't worry, that heal has just landed. I wonder what my old Xbox account is up to. Yeah. I actually did eventually get... I remember in Final Fantasy 14, which is why, I don't like seeing people getting hacked. I got hacked in 14. I mean, not in 14, in 11. The person that actually hacked me told me that they were going to do it as well. They did it on a Friday evening because I got logged out of my game. And this was when I had the 2-factor token as well. They bypassed all of that and managed to hacked my account, and obviously Square Enix doesn't work after 6 p.m. on Friday. So I had to wait until Monday morning to get in touch. And I knew someone at Square Enix, so I was actually able to get it sorted quickly. But over the weekend, they murdered my account. They pretty much sold off everything, dropped anything that was of no value, and transferred me to another server where I had to spend 3 months over at Pandemonium. 11 was never the same for me after that. It was a horrible experience. The community, though, was fantastic. The 11 community, from all corners, when they saw what happened and they found out, they were finding me in game and just throwing gear at me and money at me and everything to try and get me, taking me on quests to get a lot of the stuff like Riddle all over again. So, the 11 community was just something else, man. They were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. They just it was just surreal. Whether it was to camp H&Ms or stuff like that, they were helping me with everything. And you clearly see the value of a community when shit like that happens, and the way they band together for strangers that they don't know. But they came together, man. They came through, and I'll appreciate that forever. Sad, some being sad, a hacker, or sad hacker, or you remembering the day? I don't remember the day it happened exactly, but it was a long time ago. And what's even worse is after I got yeeted from my link shell, I was the one organizing events. I was the one organizing Sherpas. I was the one pretty much running the link show at the time. And without me, there it collapsed. You see? Without me, nothing survives. Not even this YouTube channel. Yeah, Calandros, I 100% agree. Old school MMOs, it wasn't just an MMO, man. It was like a second life. It was a virtual world where you were just you could be just who you wanted to be and no one cared. You could be that absolute dickhead and no one would even question it. Steve, you'd fit right at home. Yeah, it would carry. Hey, look, leave chair out of this. So apparently, PlayStation fans are really upset with this one. Darksiders publisher refuses to explain $10 PS5 upgrade charge that's free on Xbox. So if you've got an Xbox and you've got the Darksiders game, your upgrade is absolutely free. Once it's available, you can upgrade for free and you can enjoy it. But if you're on PlayStation, you have to pay $10. And people were asking why. And I said it's easy. They know PlayStation fans will pay for it. They have become accustomed to this fee for upgrades, whereas on Xbox, this has usually landed as a free upgrade. Which is true, right? Xbox users generally get this as a free upgrade. They don't pay to get these upgrades. But on PlayStation, you do. They did, but now they're upset that Xbox is getting it for free and they're not. See, with Days Gone, it was just $10. With the Telium upgrade, it was just $10. With every other upgrade that's a first-party game, it's only $10. But now that Xbox is getting it for free, why ain't we getting it for free? Well, no. They know that you'll pay for it, so start ponying up. Do you know what? I didn't get the Red Ring of Death until I got my Xbox One. And even then, it wasn't instant. Although I had like 7 Xbox 360s, so I was quite. I don't know what. I don't know how. They just kept giving me free Xbox 360s. Microsoft was just giving them away. It was weird. It's like, hey, you want to get this mobile phone tariff? They're giving you an Xbox 360 core for free. Okay. Hey, but if you're getting this phone over here with this tariff, you get an Xbox 360 Elite. How about that? Okay. And so, you know, different people in the family were getting contracts and they were just throwing Xbox 360s away. But yeah, my main one finally ROD'd. And you've been using that computer ever since, right, Calendros? What happens to we pay for our games? What games? No, actually, that's an okay attitude to have, right? It's consistent. But these guys aren't consistent. That's the problem. I got it on PlayStation, but I'm not gonna pay. Okay. I used to play FIFA mostly back then. It seriously worked for like 10 months before it died. Good little machine. The 360 was just, I don't know. It feels like it was just the manufacturing was just really poor. But yeah, so they're still kind of really salty about that one. But here's the best one, right? Steve was once upon a time talking about the Switch running at 240p. And he was mocking the Switch for running at 240p. And making fun of the Switch being a 240p machine. In fact, Ghosty was doing the same thing. But guys, I present you... Move away, bug! I present you PlayStation 5 running Cyberpunk, albeit with path tracing at 35 FPS, but only after dropping the internal resolution to 348p. I don't know if you can call that running anymore. Can you call that running? PlayStation 5 running Cyberpunk at 348p. It gets better though. It gets better. It does get better because this is quite impressive, right? It doesn't end there. The three titles tested: Quake 3, Quake 2 RTX, Portal RTX, and Cyberpunk RTX. Quake 2 benchmarks at default settings and medium global illumination. The PlayStation 5 struggles to run Quake 2 at native 4K. This is Quake 2, by the way. Barely achieving 10 FPS. Things got better with TAAU to 4K from 1080p. 50% resolution scale, so it's 540p. As the game runs at an average 40 FPS. With dynamic resolution, the PlayStation 5 can run the game at 60 FPS, although the lower bounds of the DRS range is 25% of 540p. Not good. Portal. At 1080p resolution with TAE ran at 540p. Game barely hits 30 FPS. And image quality is rather far from great, with poor denoising. Cyberpunk! In Ray Trace Overdrive at 1080p, XeSS performance mode, in-game benchmark ran at an average of 22 FPS. However, dropping the resolution to 1920 by 800, internal resolution 348, the game does hit 26.9 FPS, 4 FPS higher, which is bumped up to an average of 35, a 32% improvement by using the path tracing optimized mod, which reduces ray bouncing from 1 to 1 from 2. With AMD 3.1 frame generation, the benchmark shows the game running at 70 FPS, though the interpolated frames don't look correct. And so it's just running really, really badly. I have no idea. This was running with path tracing, though. Keep that in mind. I don't think the Series X can do path tracing. Onto a bit more Xbox news. Game Pass Family Plan apparently fell through and never became a thing because EA was straight up against it and refused to allow for its usage. They basically said a massive no. This is not happening on our watch. You can't put EA access on a family plan. And it didn't become a thing. That's a bit of a sadness. So EA is to blame for the Xbox Family Plan, not Game Pass Family Plan, not being here. Destiny is dead. Adaptation newscast. It's gone. It's finished. It's over. Their final update before maintenance is June the 9th, and they'll be getting no more updates. It is JOVER. Ditch EA access. I'm guessing people use it a lot. Idea Xbox games. Quite a bunch here. Not sure if any of them will be interesting to people, but I did manage to get a review code for this. I know it's available day one on Game Pass, but I'm trying to build goodwill with these companies, so I'm going to be checking this out and doing a review on this channel. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that and see how that goes. Infinity Ward has decided that they're going to leave a message for everyone. We build visceral, immersive, and combat experiences that hit different. As a new chapter begins for the studio, we're focused on what defines us: passion, precision, obsession, and an unrelenting drive to make the best entertainment in the industry. Our next game is a result of that mindset. Determined, bold, relentless, built by a team, pushing every detail, every system, every moment to its limit. On behalf of everyone at Infinity Ward, we're proud of what we've been building and excited to finally start sharing it with you on June the 7th, most likely. And this is from Mark and Jack, studio heads. Oh, cool. GTA 6 is still on track until the last minute where they delay it. I like it. Hey, Grey Minard. Welcome back, Byron. Free your homies at BioWare. Bethesda fans rejoice! Bethesda will increase the mod storage space on consoles for Fallout 4 on May 27th. Creation storage on Xbox Series X and S is scalable up to 100 gigabytes now. Xbox One and PS4 5 will have creation storage increased from 1 gigabyte. Holy sh... man. Oh man, that's diabolical. Imagine that, man, from 1 or 2 gigabyte respectively to 15 gigabytes. So PlayStation 5 had it at 2 gigabytes. But they're having it increased to 15 gig. That is diabolical. Helldivers 2, we're excited to announce a collaboration between Helldivers 2 and Warhammer 40,000, bringing the Lex legendary warbond to Galactic War later this year. More details coming soon, and that's going to be available on every platform. And they love Sony so much that Helldivers 2 is going to get an NVIDIA DLSS 4.5 update, an FSR 4.03 support, but PlayStation Pro is only going to get PSSR 1.0 support. Not even 2.0. No, wait, man. Just go anywhere but near me. Go fly anywhere but near me. I got it when it was being sold for $2. Yeah, it was a... I wonder why PSSR 2.0 isn't being supported. Is the studio behind Helldivers 2 that pissed off with Sony? I mean, if it hasn't yet, I wouldn't hold my breath, Rachie. But still, like, isn't that a bit odd that they're not going to support PSSR 2.0? I don't know. I mean, it runs good enough on PC. You don't need DLSS 4.5 or FSR 4.03. Weird. I did come across this game. Silent Hill, but set in a forgotten Thai village. Third-person survival horror. Face off against terrifying creatures when the sun goes down. Coming soon. Follow this random Twitter account for updates. This is Twilight. Going against my better judgment and putting the audio on. Looks alright. I don't know, this looks really good. It looks alright. I like the way it looked. Apparently set in Thailand, maybe? I don't know. It just says Silent Hill, but set in a forgotten Thai village. And the game is called Twilight Project. Now, another game that I've actually been offered to have a look at is this one. Let me know what you think.
They left her for dead. That was their first mistake. One by one, she erased them.
What do you guys think?
They'll hear her coming, but it won't matter. One girl, one gun, one recording.
You hate it already? I don't know, this looks alright to me.
She remembers every face, every scream, every laugh.
And it looked good graphically too.
She's not here to survive.
Then again, all these body
She's
cam
here
games do.
to finish it.
But yeah, this is another one that I've been offered to have a look at. I might pick it up and see what it's like to make a video on it. Hey, Commodore 64 was amazing. Do you remember Run the Gauntlet? The Last Ninja? Rambo 3? That's never coming. Reggie. Mirror's Edge 1 was a massive success to EA. Mirror's Edge 2 flopped so hard, they basically killed the franchise. Does you remember? Hey, look, I'll use keyboard and mouse on this game. Maybe. Probably not. But it's the thought that counts, right? What do you say, chat? As well as Abyss Luna, which I'm going to be checking out. Is this a game you want me to have a look at and do like a preview, review kind of thing? They actually re-released Gianna Sisters on Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Spoke about Matthew and about the CTO. Can close those. Alright, so we have this this internal email that went out to employees at Microsoft from Ashish Sharma herself. It reads, "These changes aim to strengthen our foundations by offering greater clarity and better execution. This is regarding the new hires. With the Xbox Showcase approaching and what will come after, we will continue making the necessary adjustments to position Xbox for the future. According to Asher, the goal is to have a clear and more efficient structure to compete better in the coming years. What do you think of this message? Like, to me, it's a whole bunch of fluff, but it's a totally different kind of game. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. I don't remember that one. I do remember East SWAT, I think it was called. That was a good game. I really liked that. Yeah, I got a nice little email from Keymailer, and I was like, oh man, is this gonna be like a Dark moment when he got the Forza Horizon 6 email and code sent to him? Is this going to be the one where Xbox finally notices me? And no, it wasn't. It was for this. It was for that body cam game. I was shot down in the seconds. All that hope, all that aspiration went down in flames. We actually discussed this earlier on. It was pretty contentious, honestly. I think it's a good thing, but it, in order for it, I feel like by exclusive, it needs to be like properly inside the Xbox ecosystem. That means only on the Xbox PC app, only on cloud, xCloud. I mean, GeForce Now is going to have it whether you like it or not because they legally have to. And Xbox console. My view was it was fine. Rest of the chat called me a pony because I like exclusives and said that I'm one of the worst people in the Xbox community. Even worse than Reforge, apparently, and Dreamcast guy. And they don't even support Xbox. She's saying the right things, but is she, it's easy to say the right things. I want to see more action. Using all the PR buzzwords is great and all, but that's kind of where it ends, right? You want to see true action. I want a native 4K 240 GeForce app. Mate, that would be amazing. That would absolutely be amazing. At the moment, what I do is I get my X-Real glasses. I plug it into my Xbox LIX, connect my Xbox controller. Nice 170-inch screen, and I just game like that in bed. It's nice. There is the Asus goggle eye things now. Glasses from X-Real. They did a collaboration. It does do 240 hertz, but it's at 1080p. I don't know. I don't watch him, so I can't really answer that question. Boom and C Money were arguing about it, and King David was laughing. He was in the. Me personally, I think it's the only way Xbox is going to gain relevance. That's my stance on it. There are people in this chat who don't believe that that is the way forward. Most of the people that say that don't play games on Xbox anymore, so I can understand why they say that. But at the end of the day, if you are only playing on Xbox, you want the console to be relevant. You want the console to be selling, so publishers don't skip your console. And the only way they're going to do that. And I did ask earlier. What other solutions could people come up with that would entice people to go and purchase the Xbox console? And no one could come up with an answer. None that I saw, anyway. So, realistically, if they want the console to be the center stage and compete with PlayStation and Nintendo, exclusives are the only way. Well, I know C Money is against exclusives. Um, I know Boom is for exclusives. I agree with Boom. Right now, Xbox is PlayStation's dog. I mean, they're just giving everything away, right? Without getting. See, I don't think, right, anyone would care about exclusives. Like, there's a couple of people, there's a number of people in here, right, that don't want PlayStation to get the games, right? Now, my question to those people is this, and I want you guys to be honest. Those people that openly said, I want Xbox games to be exclusive and not to go to PlayStation, would you be of the same mindset as what you said if Sony was porting games over to Xbox, like Spider-Man, like God of War, even if it was at a delayed cadence? So you got, God of War 2018, you got Uncharted 4, for example. Would you have that same mentality of, I don't want the games to go over there, or would you be happy to have those games over there because Sony is now giving, their first party games? Obviously, they're older and whatnot, but would that make a difference? I just want NTE and other gacha games. Dude, I get it. NTE is so good. It is such a shame that Xbox once again missed out on it. And look at Wuthering Waves, right? Look at Wuthering Waves. They're getting Wuthering Waves in July after the anniversary is over. Like, I'm gonna say this again. If you have any intention to play Wuthering Waves on Xbox when it launches, play it now on your mobile or your PC or your PlayStation, and you can link it to your Xbox account, and you can get all your achievements and stuff auto unlocked. But take advantage of the anniversary. They're giving away a lot of in-game pulling currency right now. No, because you're evil. I don't think they need full exclusivity to be relevant. I am glad I'm not Asher. I've got good faith they will figure something out. I mean, it's a horrible position to be in, and it's a big decision that she has to make. And like Gorsty said above you, right? Microsoft has flip flopped so many times that at this point, trusting them is going to be one thing, and the only way that they're going to have to deal with this is be consistent. And I think Asher knows this as well. Consistency is going to be the key. I heard it's really. I won't say anything, but apparently it's really good. I'm looking forward to trying it out after the stream. Keep it all exclusive, 100%. Make Xbox games exclusive to PlayStation. Thanks, manager. uh, I don't know. To me, it really depends on. Look, if Microsoft doesn't care about the Xbox console anymore, the Series S and X, and all they care about is the the PC portion of Helix, then exclusives don't matter anymore because they've chosen their path. But if they want the Xbox to go on for a few more years, at least the Series X, then they need to do something to get publishers, on board that they are supporting the console and that they do mean business. They could port to Nintendo for all I care, give Sony nothing. But look, I'm here saying that I want exclusives, and you guys are calling me a pony. Steve over here wants every game to go day and date to PlayStation. Why isn't he a pony? Yeah, Steve, but now they're actually pushing production back out again. So they've clearly had a change of heart and not going down the route. That's old news now, man. That's like 2024. We're in 2026. You need to keep up. That's old news. I read that LinkedIn post. Yeah, that's changed now. Now they're looking at ways to ramp up production, especially with GTA 6 coming along. And like I said, Woodpit, they're looking at ways now to ramp up production because of GTA 6. They want to get as many consoles out there. But the intent is for them to sell the console and build a marketplace. So if that's the case, and that is what they want to do, and they want the Series X to live, longer than what it has already lived, then they need to make sure that they give people a reason to buy the Series X. And that is exclusives. Waste of money or not is irrelevant. We're talking about Microsoft here. They're one of the richest companies in the world. They wasted 70 billion on Activision. They could waste a few more millions here and there. Calandros Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be released day and date on everything, but Sony has the marketing rights, so you'll only see advertising from Sony. I've seen a bunch of people on my timeline buying Series X's, especially when Forza Horizon was just before Forza Horizon. They turned around showing them holding their Series X in a box and saying, "I'm ready for Forza Horizon." And like idiots, they were putting their receipt on display as well. But exclusives sell. It's really that simple. That, people were buying Series X's in Japan, in the US, in Europe, because they wanted to play Forza Horizon 6. Exclusive sell. Now, I'm not saying they sold like 1 million units. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying there was an uptick of unit sales. Exclusives sell. It's really that simple. Exclusives have always sold. They have. Saying they never sold is just being, disingenuous. I had a Sega Saturn years ago, and I wanted to play Final Fantasy VII. I went and bought a PS1 just so I could play it. It was exclusive to PlayStation 1. So, it is. Have a good one, Ghosty. Rest well, buddy. Like, to say exclusives don't sell, it doesn't have to be first-party exclusives, right? Third-party exclusives are equally as valuable. I mean, during the PS1 and PS2 era, Sony pretty much was only third-party exclusives. It wasn't until the latter end of the PS3 where they started pushing out their own games. I bought a PS4 because Persona 5 was too blurry on PS3. I mean, there's also that. Like, I'm not saying it's the be all and end all, but it is a primary factor. I mean, I bought my Xbox One because of Halo. You know, not the Xbox One, the OG Xbox. I bought it because of Halo. If Halo wasn't on Xbox, I probably wouldn't have bought an Xbox. That was the game that I wanted, I needed to play, and I bought an Xbox for it. Like, there's no way that you're telling me that exclusives do not influence people buying consoles. They absolutely do. And that's why right now you've got a bunch of PC players crying that PlayStation games aren't coming to PC anymore. Because they're butthurt. They already have every Xbox game under the sun. And, they openly say, I don't need to buy that trash box because I get all their games on PC. That is what PC gamers say. I've seen it a number of times on tweets. PC gamers just completely call the Xbox a trash box because they don't care, because they get all their games day one on PC, on Steam. So they're happy. And they wanted the same thing from PlayStation. And Sony gave them the middle finger. And I'm happy about that. PC gamers need to get in line. They need to, they've been rampant too much lately. Oh my god, that is a nasty bug. What's that, Steve? Now they're mad at PlayStation, yeah. First it was a case of, we've got your games, we've got your games, we've got your games. And then their games got taken away and they're like, oh, the games were trash anyway, man. No one wants it. And now they're pissed off. Oh, you can't live without PC buying your games. And it's like, you barely bought anything in the last 5 years for PC games. PlayStation 5 games on PC. What are you even talking about? Oh, I just saw you say something about, I don't know if you were talking to me or something. It actually wasn't my fault. They sold out in the UK, so I got a friend to send me one from the US. Then UK stock. I wasn't sure if you was talking to me or not. I don't even understand the context, but so he probably wasn't. I'm a PC gamer, and if I bought a console, it would be a PlayStation because, yeah, can play Xbox games. Exactly, right there. Literally telling you that he wouldn't buy one. So the only way that he would buy one is if games somehow just wasn't day one on Steam. Because he ain't going to use the Xbox PC App Store. He hates it. So that would give him some incentive to get a console. Jay Spence, I know, man. You don't need to convince me that exclusives sell consoles. Like, that's disingenuous. 5? I thought you only had 2 Galaxies and 2 normal ones. You bought a 5th one? Ah, you got the Halo one as well, right? If I'm not mistaken. I kind of want the Halo one still. That's the one I'm a little disappointed. I kind of still want that one. Ain't nobody want to play 720p. Hey, man, look. People buying the Switch 2 to play 240p. It's still happening. You're saying no one want to do that, but it's happening. PlayStation is still a third-party machine. Most just buy because they know PlayStation, because they... Black John, it's not just that, man. It's like, if you love your RPGs, it's a great console. It's like a JRPGs. it's a great console for that. Just, I mean, it gets more JRPGs than the Switch 2 does, and the Switch in general. Now, obviously, PC gets them as well, but you know, if we're disregarding PC entirely for the conversation, like it does get more of them those niche games that appeal to a lot of players, and so that's where it stands apart. It has what they have worked hard to build that reputation of we are going to have every game, and we're going to make sure you don't have it. So the Series X is going to be built into the Helix. It's going to have a custom chip in there that will basically allow you to run Helix Series X games at the Series X spec. Right? It's not going to actually overperform, at least based on what we've read. It's going to be the same kind of spec that you get it. Now the problem is, if it's a Play Anywhere title, you're not going to use the Series X version of the game. You're going to just go straight to the Xbox PC app, the Helix PC app, and say, right, I'd rather play this at 60 FPS. Or play this at 60 FPS with like better graphics and ray tracing and whatever. So it's cool that they're adding it in there, but I feel like you're going to see publishers quickly dropping the Series X very quickly. Xbox won't, but they won't need to anyway because of xCloud. But I'm pretty sure that publishers like Capcom, Konami, they're going to drop it very quickly. And just hope PC and PlayStation can carry them. Because that's what makes sense. Your most expensive Xbox is the Simpsons one? Nice. Yeah, maybe I misunderstood, John. You guys that are console gamers, do you have a PC? Yeah, I have a PC. I also have tablets. I also have a TV. So I watch YouTube on pretty much anything. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts on exclusivity. It's a thing. It needs to happen. And I'm banking on it happening on June the 7th. State of Play finally returns on the 2nd of June. It's an hour long. And you're going to get an extended look at Marvel's Wolverine, plus news and updates on upcoming PS5 games. Kind of a... I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. They've announced it 2 weeks early. That's not usually their MO. But this comes on the back of them the news coming out that exclusives are staying on PlayStation. Do I have an R36S? No. Isn't that handheld console, the retro one? Yeah, I was actually looking at those today. They're not expensive. I was looking at them, but they don't seem very powerful. They can play basically anything below a Dreamcast from the reviews I was watching today, the video reviews. Do I think exclusivity is tied in any way to Game Pass? I do. Because if the games go exclusive to Xbox, they need to sell. And if they're on day one Game Pass, then chances are they won't sell. And so then you have the problem. Now, of course, you have the early access situation that Forza Horizon has provided, and that's given them valuable insight. They could turn around and just do like, hey, if you want to buy this day one, you can get it day one, early access, whatever you want, 5 days early. If you buy it for retail, you gain early access 5 days, and then everyone on Game Pass gets it 5 days later. So they could just put it through that kind of window of early access, even though it's not early access. A ROG is a PC, yeah. What, June the 2nd? I've literally gone through a bunch of news tonight. I've went through Infinity Ward. I've gone through the Xbox Family Plan. I've gone through Fallout 4 Creations. I've gone through Helldivers collaboration and what's happening to them. I've gone through the new hires, a couple of new games, and we've been having our discussion. It's not like I haven't done any. We also covered Destiny news as well. Forza had over 6 million players as of late. Hey, I do want exclusives. You can call me what the hell you like. I think exclusive. Hey, we covered Darksiders 2 as well. See? We covered stuff I completely forgot about. I don't even get exclusive noise, as there's not been no confirmation of any of this happening. It's not so much about noise, it's more people expressing whether they want it or not. Seconds. Bollocks. We covered Destiny for like an hour or so. Wolverine and Phantom Blade Zero is, yeah, they're going to be good games. Yeah, he needs a nap. Not enough morphine. Let's see. Is there anything else out there that's what I was talking about? Man, this is the second person I've seen this from now. This is nasty, man. So Microsoft is sending out the Forza Horizon controllers in just a plastic bag, no jiffy, no box, no nothing. And it's basically getting destroyed before it gets to the user. That is so pathetic. That is so bad. That's really, really bad, man. Yeah, that's bad. But you know what? It's things like this, right? 100% every. Yeah, in a plastic bag. They're delivering it in a plastic bag. Microsoft is shipping it out in a plastic bag. But it's shit like this, right? Where they're basically telling Asha Sharma she's a fucking bellend and a twat and making fun of her. If I was her, I would literally just pull all of these games off PlayStation on 7th of June. I would replay the trailers for this. I would replay the trailer for this, and then show this one at the end. And I would say, exclusive to Xbox, exclusive to Xbox, exclusive to Xbox, exclusive to Xbox. Just to piss the fucking twats off. Man, these bugs are literally all over me at this point. But I would do it. I am that petty. If I was her, I would do this. I wouldn't give two fucks about the financial situation that it's going to be in. I would do it. Just to turn these people's, just to play with these people. I would do it. I would absolutely do it. They are completely making fun of her. I would do it. If I was her, I would do it. This ain't no emotions. This is just me being an absolute arsehole. I would do it just for that. Nah, there's like little moths. They've just suddenly decided, because the door is open, because it's, I guess, quite warm tonight. They're all coming to my little lamplight, and they're bloody trying to do creepy crawly shit. I don't care if they believed it or not, because once the game releases and it's not day and date, they gonna believe it. Because don't forget, Fable's supposed to be day and date. Halo Campaign of Old is supposed to be day and date. When those games don't land day and date, and when they announce that the development of Forza Horizon 6 on PlayStation has been cancelled, they're gonna believe it. They're gonna believe it, and I would do it. If I was her, I would absolutely do it. I would do it. I would absolutely do it. But again, these guys aren't petty like me. I would totally fucking do it. No pre-orders have started. And even if they did start, you can always get them cancelled. That's not that big of a deal. Just because of John. I mean, that profit margin isn't working though, is it? The money they're investing in getting the game ported, then the marketing side of it to push it for PlayStation, it ain't working, man. They're not selling the volumes that they want to. The only two games that have actually sold volumes is Sea of Thieves and Forza Horizon. That's it. That's it. It looks like Take-Two also overestimated their consoles. Apparently, during their earnings call, they went from 138 million Gen 9 consoles to 127. That's an 11 million discrepancy. Considering PlayStation has pretty much shipped around 100 million. Well, I think it's like 94 million now. The Switch 2 is at what, 20 million? The rest would remain on Xbox. But 5% was never achievable. No, it wasn't. I don't know. When I see shit like that, I'm like, Asher, why don't you just do it, man? Just do it just to see their reaction. Just pull all that shit off and say, screw you. Buy an Xbox. I mean, Fable isn't going to sell on any platform. And you can, you can clip this as well. It's not going to do as well as people think it is. And that's why I think Sony's Xbox is desperate to put that everywhere. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling that it's going to, Fable has never been that game that's, to me is a console seller. It's been a good game, but I don't think it's going to have the success that people think it is. I hope it does. But something about it just screams at me. We'll do at least 9 billion on Xbox? You crazy. You crazy. You totally disagree? We're going to see. We're going to see. I think the new Fable game is going to be absolutely great. I think it's going to be an amazing game. I think it could, easily be a 9 out of 10 game. I just don't think that there is that big of a demand for it. I think it's one of the, it's one of those situations where everyone's like, oh man, I really want Fable. I really, really want a new Fable game. And when it arrives, no one turns up to buy it or play it, kind of thing. Like we've seen many times in the past, there's loads of games that people want and are crying for. And when they finally make those games, no one turns up to pick it up or buy it or play it or whatever. And I think Fable's going to unfortunately suffer from that. It just feels like if you look at the way everyone is hyping it, if you look at the way everyone is talking about it, they're talking about what Fable used to be. And they're kind of reminiscing and nostalgizing that, but they're not really talking about the new one. And I don't know, I've just got this horrible feeling that it will need every support, every bit of help it can get in order to make its money back. Hey, that means I'm allowed in. What am I in for? Yeah, I agree with this 100%. This is what I agree with. It's not going to be a huge seller, but it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to get rated above 90%, right, in the Metacritic. I think it's going to be above 90% unless people are literally nitpicking about, oh, your animations don't change if you're an evil person or this or that. Some of the old concepts that they decided to leave out for whatever reason, I don't really know. But if they're not really being harsh about those nitpicks, because they shouldn't be really, it's going to get a 90 plus rating. But I don't think it's going to have the impact that people think it is. I agree with that statement. Forza was massive, man. Everyone was hyped for Forza. I was seeing all sorts of stuff for Forza. Everyone was talking about it. They couldn't wait for it. Japan especially. People from Japan were going mental about it. I mean, some hated it, but the majority were loving it. They were moaning that they couldn't find an Xbox to buy just so they could play it. They were, tagging Xbox Japan to have, stores have more Xboxes so they can pick one up to play it. There was a lot of interest in Forza Horizon 6. Fable isn't getting that attention. Well, they have a dedicated guy for it, right? That was one of the hires, so time will tell. I didn't like 2 or 3 very much. Some people say 2 is the best one. I hope it's as good as Fable 2 was. One of my favorites. 3 I didn't like as much. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Fable hasn't really been, you know, the complete hit that people envision it. John's excluded. Advert is needed. Fable 3 was your favorite? Oh. Apparently, Disney Plus could be in Game Pass Fortnite Crew. They're asking if Disney Plus is included in Fortnite Crew Club. Fortnite leaker Hypex points out that Epic Games will announce this benefit very soon, as the internal files contain a confirm your Epic user and redeem your Disney Plus Crew benefit. If this is true, it might indirectly mean that Disney Plus is included in Game Pass Ultimate. I hope it stays permanently and they don't increase the subscription cost. One was huge, console seller, yeah, but the others wasn't. The others wasn't. But yeah, I'm not seeing any more news posts around that's worth going through. That's really all I got for today. I won't be streaming tomorrow during the day. I might during the evening. I've got a few people coming around during the day tomorrow. So for those of you that want to check out the gameplay streams, I will be over at my other YouTube channel and my Twitch channel. The other YouTube channel, if it's not in the description below, it should be, but it's youtube.com/Chaos Lounge Gaming, and my Twitch is twitch.tv/Chaos Lounge _, as in literally the underscore. But was there anything else you guys wanted to go through? There was a video I had to go through, but I'm going to leave it because it's just going to create more drama, and I'm not in the mood at the moment for more drama. I'm already dealing with twats on social media, so that should be enough. It was a unique thing, wasn't it, Woodpit? And it's a video by VGF Fight School. I don't agree with anything he says. So I was going to go through that, but I'll leave that for Tuesday. I'll leave that for Tuesday so we can maybe look at that a little earlier before the PlayStation Showcase in 2 weeks. So it'll give me something to do on Tuesday. But yeah, I was gonna rip his video apart, but it's gotten late now. But it's abusing his Sony. No. I just don't agree with what he says about Xbox. He's his arguments that the stuff he puts forward, I just don't agree with, because he's always framing it from such a narrow point of view, where everything is skewed in his discussion to make him right, but he doesn't look at the broader picture or the broader discussions. And I kind of go into it a bit in my video if you haven't seen it. I kind of go off on one, which I didn't mean to, but I left it in there anyway because why not? But you'll get the gist of what I'm talking about in there, and yeah, maybe on Tuesday we'll go over it. It's not so much that I care what he thinks. It's just he's everywhere trying to say that everyone else is wrong and he's right. When in reality, he couldn't be any more wrong if you actually tried. And I don't normally say people are wrong because I respect people's opinions. But he frames it in a way where he completely sets up the scenario and then puts it in a way where it's pretty much one-sided. And that's just dumb. You honestly muted YouTube, so I haven't watched any. No, I get that. No, it's a VGF. Even Doc Dark was blasting him not long ago. I mean, the guy, I like the guy. Like, he's a decent guy. You know, I've got nothing against him personally, but the way he tries to enforce his views on other people, like, he has no respect for anyone's views or beliefs. It's just one way and one way only. Like, you guys in chat, you guys turn around and tell me you guys don't want exclusives. You guys don't believe that that's the way forward. I disagree with it, but I'm not going to turn around and say you guys are wrong even though you are. I ain't going to say it because I respect your opinion even though you're wrong. But I'm not that big-headed or egotistical to say that I'm always right even though I'm never wrong. So, it is what it is. At least I show some respect to you. Okay. I almost got through all of that without breaking. I tried my best not to break there, but it was just too much. If he sounded like Freeforge, then he's 100% based. Yeah, I'll go through that video on Tuesday, and we can break it down and see what it's about. Give us something to go through on Tuesday if there's not many a lot. Anyway, folks, hopefully, if I am streaming tomorrow evening, I will see you then. And yeah, because I got a few appointments tomorrow during the day, which means I'm not going to be available during the day. So it might be something for tomorrow evening. And if you are interested in coming over and checking it out, that'd be great. Fantastic. Also, just as a heads up, probably won't mean much to most of you, but from next week Tuesday, I'm also going to be dual streaming what I stream here over on Twitch as well, to see if I can bolster that side of things as well. So hopefully I'll see a lot of you back next week Tuesday, but if you are interested in gameplay streams, I will see you tomorrow. Alright folks, that is it. I'm out. I'm gonna go crash, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the support and all the turnout, and yeah, peace. Look, that 1080 wasn't my fault. It was OBS's fault. Definitely not a user error. I already proved that when I showed it at the start of the stream, where it wasn't my fault, it was the OBS's fault. Right, I'm